Welcome, welcome, business owning moms, to my coveted maternity leave planning roadmap. I'm your host, Alyson Caffrey, and we are on part 6 of our 30-part roadmap series. Now, I created our roadmap because I knew that when I got pregnant with my first son and I was running my business, it was about 3 years old. I literally did not know where to start. I was like, what do I do first, second, third, fifth, 10th? And honestly, this is the exact thing that I would have wanted, honestly, when I was first expecting. So, this roadmap particularly is so helpful for moms who are just starting out. If you are joining us now and you want to hear the previous 5 episodes, wherever you get your podcasts, you can go ahead and speed listen through the podcasts. Each of them is supposed to be a really quick and intentional tip for you to plan your maternity leave. So, the topic today is really, really straightforward, and it is create a central source of truth. So many times, especially when we go to delegate something, or when we have a team of people who are doing multiple different things inside of the business, we kind of lose the best practice. We lose the best way to do something, right? Someone might be onboarding your clients in one way, and then another person might be onboarding your clients in a different way. And so, what I love to do when we are really supporting moms through this experience going out of the business is to create the central source of truth. So, where can we find all the resources that we need? At Operations Agency, we've built hundreds of playbooks, and it is like the most amazing thing inside of a business to kind of just alleviate the pressure of where do I find blank or how do I do blank. It's an internal resource for your team. And so the easiest thing that you can do is you can create a spreadsheet internally where all of your company resources are. So I'm talking things like logos, brand colors, all the things, all the way down to how do we onboard clients or how do we update our P&L inside of QuickBooks. All the things need to be inside of that spreadsheet. And I need you to understand that this is going to happen over time. So don't expect to go ahead and build a resource like this and have every single thing done right away. But if we can create that central place, I keep mine bookmarked in Chrome. My team, I encourage them to do the same thing. And one of the big things that it does is it kind of creates that internal clarity. And my standard response is, well, is it in the playbook? Did you check the playbook? And it's so nice, especially as a leader inside of the business, to jump in and ask that question, because then all of a sudden your team is like, oh, yeah, great. I'm going to start checking the playbook before I ask Abby if this thing exists, or I'm going to check the playbook before I onboard a new client to make sure that I'm going through the process in the way that we, talked about and the way that we strategized. So the amazing thing too is when you're out on maternity leave, the playbook can be checked in order to make sure that folks are doing things the way that you anticipate them. So all of the Loom videos that you're making, all of the checklists that you're making to have folks take stuff over for you, you shouldn't only be sending those to one person on your team or keeping them on your own Google Drive. You need to be sharing them with everybody that you possibly can, because then it prevents you from, in any circumstance, anybody going out of the business and you not being able to have that information in a central location. So encourage your team as well, if you are working with a team, to also put their knowledge into this resource, this central source of truth. So if you've got somebody who's like managing your social media for you, or you've got somebody who is doing data entry on, spreadsheets or something like that, say, hey, listen, I never really asked you to capture some of this information, but would you mind just, writing this down or recording your screen so that we can see how it happens? And then that way they feel really comfortable if they want to take a 2-week vacation or something like that, but it's available for them and it's inside of this central source of truth. That also helps us really think about, okay, are two people doing things two different ways? And if that is true, like, what is the best practice way? It really does help standardize things inside of the business. We've done this for years at Operations Agency, and to be totally transparent, a lot of parents who run businesses really come to us and they're like, I need to know that this, without a shadow of a doubt, is happening so that I can go be with my family and shut my laptop down and actually be present when we're on vacation or when we're doing things together. So it really does start to quiet that little voice in the back of your head that's like, did they do it right? And the answer is likely yes, if they have a process or if they have a resource that they can follow that has the standard best practices on it and that someone can easily replicate and check out. So if you haven't yet, open up a spreadsheet. We know if you're listening to this, do that now when you hop off and just start to put some of those videos. If you've been listening along with the series, any of the videos on how you're doing what you're doing and when you're doing that and all of that, it'd be super, super helpful. I like to separate playbooks just by a couple of key things. So we've got marketing, sales, delivery, and operations. Those are the four big things. I think that anything else more complicated than that can start to feel a little overwhelming and cumbersome. So just create 4 buckets. You can make 4 folders in Google Drive, depending on where you host all of your files, and you can start to just add material in there. And so naturally, there will be some organization factor. And I think it's going to be super helpful for you. If you want my exact template, it is in my roadmap. So if you go to mastermaternityleave.com/roadmap, you can get the full video and audio series of this experience. You can also get my emails that walk you through step by step exactly what to do, and all of the corresponding templates that I plucked out of our bond program where we help women plan their maternity leave from their business. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.